Hi guys, Steve here. Today I'm going to give you my take on a great dry fire and live fire training aid, the Mantis X3, one of the latest products from Mantis. Stick around. Now I have tried many different types of training aids, basically dry fire training aids through the course of my shooting career, and even though they all had their good points and bad points, as all things do, I have found that the Mantis 3X has actually got a product that is useful both in dry fire training and also you can use it in live fire. And what it does is it'll evaluate your shot structure, how you're pulling the trigger, your recoil, and all sorts of fantastic information that it can pull to help you become a better shooter. The X3 from Mantis retails around about $180 on the Mantis site itself. You might be able to get a little bit less expensive on Amazon, but I chose to purchase it from Mantis directly. As you can see, it comes in a nice carrying case, and inside you will find the X3 itself, which is actually smaller than the original Mantis X. It is rail mounted for your firearm. You can get adapters so you can mount it to the magazine or actually to a barrel itself should you want to use this on a revolver. It comes with the standard button to turn it on and off right here. It has the USB charger right here, mini port. Now, the difference between the X3 and the Mantis X, the original, is this doesn't come with a screw to mount it to the rail itself, but rather it comes with a quick release here. And you just push this quick release up and slide it onto your rail, pop it back into place, and it holds the X3 firmly onto your rail system. Now, also included in this case is, of course, the Mantis X sticker here, and your USB to mini USB connector here that you can charge this by plugging it into either your computer or to an adapter that goes into an AC outlet. Let me show you how easy it is to mount to your firearm. For this demonstration, I will be using my Smith & Wesson M&P 45. Now, the X3, like the Mantis, can be mounted on the rail system either forward or reverse. And to determine this, you look at the USB connector here. If it is facing the shooter or your trigger itself, that means that it's facing forward. If, on the other hand, you mount the X3 with the USB facing the target, that means you're mounting it reverse. For this demonstration, I'm going to be mounting it forward with the USB facing the shooter itself. Before you can use the X3 or any other Mantis product, you have to download the software and install it on either your tablet, iOS, or Android phone. Once it is installed on your phone or tablet, you need to go ahead and make sure that the communication is set up between the device and the software itself. Let me show you how to do that. Once the X3 is installed onto your firearm, you want to go ahead and connect it to the software. First, you need to press a button on the bottom of your X3. This will turn the device on. You can see the green light here is flashing. Next, simply go ahead and connect to your device. It'll say it's connecting, and once connected, you'll have a list of different options here that you can choose from. If, for some reason, this does not connect, and let me just demonstrate this. If you turn off the device, it just automatically disconnect from your cell phone or your tablet. If the device is not turned on, you have a problem connecting, it will also give you that indication as well. It'll say connecting, then down here you will see an error message saying it's unable to connect. And there it is. And it just goes back to your connect screen. Now, should you forget to turn your device off, it will shut itself off after a few minutes of inactivity, thus saving the charge in your device itself. So if you happen to get through with it, put it up and forget to turn it off, it will shut itself off in a couple of minutes. So you don't have to worry about the charge draining at all. Let me go ahead and show you some demonstrations of the X3 in action, both with dry fire and with live fire at the range. Now, I do want to say, at the range, I was kind of distracted with people around me trying to get the X3 to work the way I wanted it to, which it worked fine, but doing it in a totally different environment that I was used to, like dry fire, and with the distractions, I wasn't really focusing on my shooting as much. So you'll see the scores are higher with the dry fire than they were with the low fire. Of course, this does have to do with recoil and, like I said, distractions and everything else. Just my excuse. I'm getting better at it, but this, again, that's what the X3 is all about. It will tell you where your weaknesses are, what you have to work on to help improve your accuracy when you shoot. Now, just want to let you know, I wasn't too far off the target, so to speak, while I was shooting live fire. I was shooting the 45 plus. I took my Smith & Wesson 380 bodyguard out there to do a few shots just to keep in practice with that. Here's my score, or actually the target, the actual target. Take my word for it. You have to take my word for it. This is my actual target that I shot at 7.5 yards, and I maintained 7.5 yards all the time during my session over at the live fire. Hey, what better place to dry fire practice is in the comfort of your own home. I'm here in my living room right now. Animals are out of the way, nobody around. I'm going to take some time to myself to dry fire. Now, I've already made my weapon safe and have removed all the ammunition and put it in another room so there's no chance of it accidentally being loaded during my dry fire training. Now, also, I've got my X3 mounted, and something that I have is personal preference. I have loaded a laser bullet into the barrel of my firearm. Now, if you're not familiar with a laser bullet, it produces a short laser beam blast every time the striker hits the back of the laser bullet. And this also gives me a visual of what I'm hitting, of what I'm shooting at. If I'm targeting, and that's one good thing about dry fire, you don't have to have a regular target. You can use anything since you're not really firing bullets. You can use light switches, vases, lamps, just a spot on the wall, doesn't matter. But the X3 gives me excellent feedback on the mechanics, the trigger pull, the grip, whether I'm healing, whether I'm anticipating recoil, stuff like that. Of course, anticipating recoil and dry fire, that's kind of a null issue, but you got my idea, you got my drift. But anyway, the X3 gives me the analytics on my mechanics, whereas with me, having that laser bullet inserted into my firearm will give me a visual. If I'm firing at a light switch, I can see I've hit the light switch. And then that just gives me kind of a visual backup to what the Mantis X3 is telling me from my mechanics. Okay, so let's go ahead and establish a communication between the X3 and our Mantis software. As I've stated previously, you just hit this button on the bottom of the X3. The light will come on and it'll be flashing. You set your firearm next to your device, your phone or your tablet. Press the connect button and you'll see it's connecting. And then this list of drills here will come up on the screen. You've got quite a few different drills here that you can go through. And for the sake of just for an example, I'm going to use open training. Press open training. Press the start that's surrounded by the green circle. And there's my target. So let's go ahead and shoot 5 rounds and see how well I do.
95. 89. 94. 90. 88.
Okay, that's 5 rounds. lower right hand side, press your stop button, and that gives your average. Now, if you scroll to the left, you'll see some more statistics here. I haven't gone into the specifics on these statistics, so I'm still learning this product myself, but it gives you an idea of where your hit is. On the top part, you see the line chart, and on the bottom, you'll have your trigger press movement indicated in yellow, and your hold movement, which is how much the gun is moving while you're trying to take aim here, and that's indicated in blue. Scroll again to the left, and you have your shots here. I did 5, so I've got 5 different shots here. And the good thing is about these, the interesting thing, and something I've never seen on the internet before, or at least on the reviews, is you can actually animate these shots. And it'll show your hold, your trigger press, and your actual impact. Kind of interesting. Now, what this in dry fire is not showing you is the recoil. The recoil, there would be another line indicating recoil in here if you were to be using your Mantis X3 in live fire training here itself. Let's take it to the range and see how the Mantis X3 works with live fire. That's it, guys. That's my take of the X3 from Mantis. Another great product. It helps you both in your dry fire and your live fire training. It helps you find your weaknesses and aids you on how to improve your shooting. I highly suggest you give it a shot. Like I said, it's about $180 suggested retail on Mantis site itself. So go ahead and check them out, and that's mantisx.com if you want to check out their website there. And until next time, guys, appreciate you watching. If you have any comments, leave them below. Please subscribe, and if you do subscribe, click the bell so you'll be notified of any upcoming videos. Click that thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And if you get a chance, check out my Patreon channel. You don't have to, but if you want to, go ahead. Till next time, guys, be safe out there.